The revolution will now be televised.
Sweet, I gotta eat. With my hustle turbo, never gon' fall, let it be known. Ain't nothing sweet about the heat. Let it be known when the doors low, then the guns blow. Ain't nothing sweet, I gotta eat. With my hustle turbo, never gon' fall, let it be known.
I ain't spitting white lies, pumping niggas full of smoke. I'm on that block, I'm getting green, I'm pumping white bars of coke. Making broke niggas rich, teaching novice how to pitch. I made that switch, make yours. Matter of fact, fall back and forth. I grind with a cause, daddy, money's my motivation. I'm a rapper by choice, a hustler by occupation. And my street profession, niggas call me Connect. And hustlers worldwide, show that man respect. Hustlers worldwide, for that reason I collect. See, that feeling's mutual, I never deal with that usual suspect. A snitch nigga's always on deck to put your business on the fence, take cassette. Nevertheless, I put.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Delgados.
We are live on the set for another episode of the Delgados podcast. I have a very, very prestigious gentleman here with me today. I'm actually honored to have this brother with me. As usual, I'm with my partner in crime, my eldest brother, Eric Giancarlo.
Peace and blessings.
And we are here with and I say the king of New York hospitality, Jimmy Rodriguez. Yes, the world famous Jimmy Rodriguez of Jimmy's Bronx Cafe.
In the place to be.
In the place
to be. Live in the flesh.
Wow.
Word.
Wow.
Word.
You know, I'm always honored to be hanging out with you guys and
Listen.
enjoying this moment. I love such beautiful words that, you know.
No, listen, man, I'm honored. And you know, me and you have a special relationship. I'm going to get into that briefly because as the years have passed, you may have forgotten how me and you actually met. You were just opening up your location on 57th Street. It was maybe 2 to 3 weeks after that spot was opened. I came in there. You were busy. I even remember who you were sitting down with. You were sitting down with Kadar Massenberg. Wow. You guys were sitting in the back of the restaurant. And, you know, I was always intrigued by you and just how you do your thing. You got that boss energy. And I was actually with my lady, and we looked at you, and I didn't even know you. You didn't know me. You just waved me over. I don't know why. It was the strangest thing that anyone's ever done. I mean, me and you made eye contact. I looked at you. You shook my hand. You introduced yourself. You called over your guy. Your guy got us the table that was right next to you. You were like, clear this table. They cleared it, and we just sat right next to you. And while you were conversating with that brother Kadar, you were talking to me at the same time. And it was like, I was just really taken back that you would take time when the restaurant is packed like that to introduce yourself to a stranger, but then also give me the table right next to you while you're sitting down with someone else and look like you guys were having a business meeting. And I never forgot that. And you asked me, you was like, so what do you do? What are you trying to do with yourself? And I was like, you know, I'm trying to be like you. I'm trying to open a restaurant. I'm trying to open a lounge. I'm trying to open a club. By the time I left there, you had given me Shanad's phone number. You had given me the phone number to the contractor. You had introduced me to the attorney that was going to get me the liquor license. All this in the matter of time that you introduced yourself to me having dinner. And you made yourself a mentor throughout the whole process while we opened up our restaurant. And I never forgot that. And I always have a special place in my heart for you and special love because you didn't have to do that. Really appreciate that, brother.
That's it's so interesting because I remember you was doing a spot up the block.
You came up there and you were like, no, move this. The booths have to be in the back. Like the fact that you took that particular time when you were already busy with this guy who's a whale in the business, I mean, it spoke volumes about you, you know, the fact that you would be willing to mentor me. And like I said, man, I never forgot it. And to this day, I genuinely appreciate and love you, brother.
Every single day is like, we're going right now through elections. We have a new president. We're going to have a new mayor. You watch how everybody's moving. You look at the different industries. You see the growth. You look at the new marketing perspectives. You look at the younger generation, you look at the older generation, you look at the music, you look at the direction that people are moving. So I wake up with super ADD. Like I'm walking into a room and I'm looking at every single thing, and I just can't help myself. It's like I have to I don't want to be in control of nothing. I just want to learn how to navigate through everything that's going on. And now I have more fun, like being more mentoring type of person. And the other day I run into one of my brothers in the industry, and I'm like, so what's going on? And he's like, well, I'm moving in this direction. And he's like, what do you think? I'm like, wrong direction. He's like, what would you do? I'm like, I wouldn't do that. He says, so tell me, what would you do? And I'm like, you know what? Let me get you a proposal. Because at the end of the day, when you teach classes for free, it's almost like they don't even want to show up. It doesn't matter. But then when you charge, then if they're invested,
They value it.
then there's a value. If somebody gives you a free shirt, it's one thing.
Right.
But if they say, you know what, this shirt costs $500, but I can work out a special price for you. It creates a real sense of value. And for a very long time, I've been giving away things out of love and kindness, and I'm like, why? I mean, if I go hire a lawyer, he's like, let me tell you why you shouldn't pay me like all of this money. Why don't you just do this?
Well, they say information is the number one commodity.
Yeah, but I always been giving it away for free. So like at this point in my life, it's like I want to be able to share and help others make money and at the same time be compensated for it. Because like if I tell you you're making $10, but if I find you 20, can I share in that 20 that I find you? If we go hunting, can we share what we hunt and what we're going to eat? And now I'm finding like there's a value in knowledge, because like I could walk into almost any industry and anything, and I can just sit down and just tell me everything you're doing. Just show me everything. And I'll be like, okay, if you do a little bit of this, and I talk to my little brother, and I'm like, he says, I want to learn more. And I'm like, but the one thing that I learned is be more consistent. If we are all more consistent with what we say we're going to do, that in itself, which is free, and I hate to give it away, but I'm giving it away. Just be consistent.
I have a question for you. Do you feel you are responsible for bringing Latin cuisine to a high-end level in New York City? I mean, the aesthetics of your restaurant, the way you present the food. Like, we can go to Cucho Frito, get the same food, but it's not going to look like that.
Yeah.
Or taste like
You
that.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Or taste like that.
or taste like that. I
yes.
feel like you classed up Latin cuisine to make people think that, okay, well, this is really sexy.
Well, I mean,
Specifically Puerto Rican food, to be honest.
well,
Specifically.
I specifically made Puerto Rican more presentable.
Yes.
But because not that Dominican, Ecuadorian, Cuban, you name Mexican, it doesn't.
El Salvadorian, Mexican,
and
whatever.
You name the Latin Spanish world. Did I? Yes. And how did I do that? I remember, like yesterday, opening up Sofrito on 57th Street.
My
Right?
favorite spot, actually. My all-time favorite spot.
That was one of my favorite in the world, because the experiences that I had at Sofrito was unique and special. And if you look at Sofrito, it's at Puerto Rican cuisine. And I remember an older woman, American, don't know where she's from, but American. Let's use a generic format. An American woman who walks up to me and she said, why are you calling it Puerto Rican cuisine? Why don't you call it Hispanic or Latin?
Wow.
And I said, very interesting question. The reason why Sofrito said Puerto Rican cuisine, and mind you, for me was highlighting the most popular dishes from Puerto Rico, alongside with, standards in food cuisine. And she says, "Can I ask you a question? When you go to an Italian restaurant, when you go to an Irish restaurant, when you go to a French restaurant, do they call it white food? I mean, do they call it like white people food? Do they call it American food?
It's called Italian food.
So when they identify where they're from,
It's a culture thing.
it's beautiful because you know what to expect, whether it's Northern Italian, Southern Italian, and German, French, Irish. It's beautiful that you can say this is the food that represents my culture, what I grew up. And yeah, everything has a twist. Got it. But this is the spice, this is how we put it together, and this is how it works. So I says, I can't call it Latin or Hispanic because that is generalizing everyone. Like you guys don't say white food, why should we say Latin? We're not Mexican. I love
that
Mexican
response.
food.
Right.
I love food from El Salvador. I loved all the Latin American cuisines. But I like to know which one of them
Where you
that I'm
from?
going to be eating at.
The cultures are different all over. The cultures are different.
Right. So if you say I'm going to have, tacos from, with this sauce or that sauce, because, you go have tacos and there are American tacos and there's Mexican tacos. So if you go to El Barrio
for real.
and you go into a Mexican restaurant, you're going to have, that is where they eat, right? So if you go to Jimmy's, I needed it to be culturally representing our community. So we had the pernil, we had the mofongo, we had the arroz con pollo.
Alcapurria,
So
everything.
we did that culturally to highlight it. And growing up in our community, at least in my era, mom cooked, dad went to work, mom cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we didn't go to Puerto Rican restaurants other than the Cuchifrito. And that Cuchifrito was like that fast food. But then after the Cuchifrito was closed, where did you go?
What else?
Right? And it's funny you say that because yesterday I was at a Dominican Cuchifrito. And I'm like, guys, what would I do here? I would just A, B, C, D, E. And I would say, and this is the reason why A, B, C, and D. And they're like, wow. Now I understand because he's like, you're a legend. Everybody knows. I says, but it's because my passion and what I love to do. And I love to tell people, hey, you know what? This would be an easy fix. This would make your life so much easier because it cost me a lot of money to learn that. It cost me a lot. So like what I love to do is tell, like my daughter the other day, she was, I got roasted for my 21st, it was 25th, something like that. I think it was my 30th birthday in September.
Okay.
I love the way I feel, and the way I feel is what I said. But I really feel like I'm in my 40s, which I'm not in my 40s. And she got on stage and
Age
she
is just a
says,
number, Jimmy. It's just a
listen,
number, man.
Thank God he gave me a
wear
lot
it.
of numbers, but I feel a lot younger, just to be
Amen.
truthful. And then my daughter says, my dad had to endure a lot of situations in life for a lot of other restaurateurs in this city to make their life easier. And even still to this day, I'm still like being challenged by, things that I wouldn't think that 25, 30 years later that I'm still having to overcome. Like not understanding how, for example, the police department still doesn't communicate with our community, and they don't understand our community, and that's hurtful to me because, how do you hire young men and women that don't understand our community and then put them in our community and expect us all to get along when
They throw them in the culture, but they know nothing about the culture.
they don't even know where they're at, and it's sad because as a business person, don't you want to get along with everybody, especially the police,
100%.
the law, like the politicians? They come into our community, they sell us dreams, and they really don't deliver.
I want to
anything.
piggyback on something you said. So you establish yourself as the premier restaurateur guy, and I feel, because I've seen it, like when you came out with maybe your second restaurant that could have been Sofrito, or was that Don Coqui?
Well, there was 4 Jimmy's.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm talking about as far as the
The
brains.
second concept after that was, after the Jimmy's, it was Sofrito.
Or Sofrito, right? Do you feel like a lot of other restaurant groups were copying your style and trying to start other things, and they was like, not beef but competition?
Ain't no competition.
They
Of course
bitch,
not.
though.
Of course, that's
I
not-
know what Eric is saying.
Yeah.
A lot of people bitch
I
and
feel
drip.
like a lot of people biting your
I
style.
can name them. I can name 3 or 4 people that you know personally that stole a lot from you.
And I love it.
They
And I
stole. They
love it
stole a lot of
because-
drip.
Listen, you know what? I am the best student in life. So like, I'll give you an example. I was taught how to be more innovative by my friends that lived in the city, by them giving me their jewels, me putting the jewels out there in my community, and then sharing it with the community for them to enjoy. So it's a blessing to be blessed, to continue to bless others, which
dope.
is
That's
very
dope.
beautiful.
So you feel like you gave them the game and you were able to help them be successful as well, and you're not mad at giving them the blueprint.
No, I said, God, give me some more. Let me bring back. I'm here to. Let me be your servant. Let me help others, even right now to this day. Give me the blessings and the tools to help you and everyone else, because I'm only going to get more as I share the wealth and the knowledge, because
I believe
it
that.
validates you.
I
You know,
believe
the
that. Now,
more
let me
you
see.
validate yourself and others, the
Now-
greater we are as a community.
Now
Absolutely.
this is for the people that don't know your full history. I know it. I've heard you tell this story before, but I want to go back to when you and your dad sold fish. How did you go from that to owning the premier club, not only in the Bronx, but the entire New York? Because I'm initially from Brooklyn, right? By way of Harlem. We were born in Harlem, but raised in Brooklyn. So for me to come out of my comfort zone in Brooklyn to hang out in the Bronx, it's a huge deal because Brooklyn dudes don't traditionally hang out in the Bronx. You made coming to the Bronx comfortable, and it was a neutral spot. I never had no smoke at your place. Personally, on nights when I went there, never a problem. You made it a neutral spot. So how did you go from me and my dad are selling fish out of ice buckets to opening the premier nightlife spot and restaurant under one roof in New York? Because no one understands what an operation it is to have this huge eatery coupled by one of the biggest dance floors, not only in the Bronx, but in the entire New York. Like, how did you go from that to pulling that off?
Wow, that's just the mere fact to buy that operation from Webster Avenue on the Cross Bronx, selling fish opposite the building, and
Where were you
renting
selling fish? Right
on
there,
the
on,
Cross Bronx and Webster,
right there.
Marisco del Caribe, which is now Marisco Centro,
Right.
right? And funny, like 2 weeks ago, somebody asked me, "Do you want to go back to where you started?" I'm like, no, but we're different. We're living in different times. So the challenge of getting hot water or water to defrost the shrimps while you're selling fish in the street and having to thaw it out, and lobster and everything else, to renting the building, to renovating the building, to saying it's time to grow, and buying Fordham Road and not having the money to buy it, but having the vision and believing that you can do it. And it was a multi-million, 2 million, 2.4, something like that.
A year business?
No, I bought the building for $2.4 million with $44,000.
You got good credit.
No,
No.
that's the best part. I had no credit at the point that I borrowed $1.1 million, and I needed 4 points to borrow the $1.1 million at 24% or 28%. So I had to give the guy that lent me $1 million 4 points to borrow the $1.1 million, and then pay 24% interest not 5%, 24% interest. Interest only for 1 year. And then after that, I had to renew the loan or whatever and either pay the 4 points again. And when nobody believed, and I'm in contract, and the seller took back $1 million something. And when the guy came and he said to me, we're going to lend you this money because you're building a building that you don't even know. You're in contract, you're renovating. There's 100 people here working on your project that you don't even own. And if nobody lends you this money, you just lost everything. So, you have to believe and give that energy that you can make things happen, and really just like you just have to know.
You went forward on faith.
Unbelief. I knew I was going to do this.
Okay.
There is no such thing as waking up since I'm
You
not
knew it was
going
gonna
to
happen.
do. I had no choice. I'm in the middle of the water. It's sink or swim.
I know
When
that
you're in
feeling.
that water and you're going, no, I'm not going to die. I'm not going to die. And I made it happen. And I opened the restaurant, and I opened the back as a patio, and then enclosed the patio, made it a nightclub, did downstairs as a catering hall. Tito Puente, Celia Cruz, Mark Anthony, everybody's there. We did Tito Nieves' wedding there. We did major events. I run into people all the time that said, I got married, I got engaged, I got Sweet 16.
Celebrated my
like,
anniversary, Sweet 16, like ridiculous.
Met a young lady the other day. She's like, my mother got married there. And then I meet her mother, and 10 minutes later, it's like, yeah, I got married there back in the
No, man, your location, Jimmy, was the culture. And not just for the Bronx, which is the interesting part. It was the culture for New York. If you were from the urban market in New York and you wanted to celebrate something, you wanted to have some good dinner, you wanted to party, Jimmy's Bronx Cafe was the place. And it's like that magic that you captured at that location, you've been able to move that magic every location that you've gone to. I've been to every restaurant you've ever owned. So it's like, I've witnessed how now the energies are always different at all of your places, but you're always able to capture magic. And to me, it's greater than the food. It's greater than the experience that you create. To me, it's always the way that Jimmy makes people feel.
Jimmy, you know what you did for the Bronx? You brought A-listers to the Bronx. early.
Yes.
I mean, A-listers.
I know.
I mean, you know how hard that is for somebody who wants to stay downtown.
I mean,
Right?
listen.
And they hear about your restaurant and they go way uptown past
No, it's a
Harlem.
big deal, man.
That's a big deal.
Well, I have many.
Because the only reason to come to the
mentors.
Bronx, not to cut you off, was Yankee Stadium, right? That's where celebrities went. If they went to a Yankee game, yes, you'd see celebrities in the Bronx. But the fact that they came to party and eat with you, that was magic trick, bro.
It was.
That was a magic trick.
But it was the team of the people that I surrounded myself around. I was so humbled to learn from them how to be greater at what I wanted to do. So, as like 40 years later plus, I still surround myself with people that give me an energy, a vibe that allow me to move forward. So when you take example, Ian Schrager, when you talk about the God of hospitality, nightclub, vision, it's Ian Schrager. Studio 54, the Delano, the Royalton, the Paramount, the boutique hotels concept that he created, the lofts of the whole.
Amazing venues, man. Amazing venues.
This is like the God. And when God comes to your place and he says to you, Jimmy, you're sold out. Like, this is packed. He says, everybody's dressed up. I'm impressed. There's no hoodies, there's no hats. Everybody looks beautiful and elegant. And that is very impressive for someone like me that ran Studio 54. But he says, what's the most impressive thing? And I remember like yesterday, he said, no one does drugs in your spot. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, like, no one does drugs in your spot. Not even in the bathrooms. Like, you don't see that shit visible. And if you go to Manhattan right now, that's all over the place. I said it's interesting that you say that because it's called different strokes for different folks. Up here,
Wow.
they expect us to be like you guys in the city that get away with everything in the world. Up here, we make one mistake
It's over.
and we're done.
This liquor license is gone.
Like, you know, it's like it's a different standard. So when you have people that appreciate and teach you and continue to teach you because you listen, and I'm a great listener of other people that teach me lessons. You know, I had another guy, Robert Isabel. He used to do the greatest events in the world, from the White House for Christmas every single year to Victoria's Secrets to the Met Gala. I mean, he did the #1 events in the world. They call him the Flower God. I mean, 25 years ago, you wanted a birthday party, 100 guests. We start at $2,500 per person. $250,000. You don't even get that today. That was his clientele back then. And he was teaching me things that I walk into a room and I'm like, oh my God. So as I got the jewels and the knowledge from others and then come uptown and do it, everybody was thrown back because where did you learn this from? And I had to tell you, my team, the people I surround myself around, we grow together, we embrace each other, we share wealth and knowledge, you know, because knowledge is wealth. I mean, when they teach me things that help better me as an individual, my company, perfect example. I remember one day I was in the DJ booth, and you know, when you go to like a Spanish place, you go to a Jamaican place, you go to an American place, right? Club, they tend to play music according to
The
this.
demographic
That's it.
that comes
So
to
if
the
you
venue.
go to Washington Heights, it's merengue, bachata, Puerto Rican, salsa, like. And then he said to me, do me a favor. You have a 4-pack and they're playing salsa and everybody's dancing. He said, tell your DJ to play Michael Jackson Thriller. And I'm like, that's what you said? I'm going to do that. I walk over, tell the DJ, do me a favor, play the song next. He turns to me, he's like, what you talking about?
Yeah, it's like, why? The crowd is popping.
Do me a favor. He said it, you play it. He said, all right. I mean, he did it with hesitation, but you can't hesitate. I'm not asking you. I'm
Telling you to do this, right?
just what
The check cleared.
The boss, he's my teacher. I might be the boss, but he's my boss. I'm listening to he's giving me jewels. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to do it. And he played it. And the crowd went crazy. He looks over at me. I look at everybody, looks at each other, and he's like, he says, now do. And now do. And then I turned around and I was like, man, what a lesson.
You changed the whole game.
He taught me a lesson, and he kept teaching me, and he kept teaching me. So when guys continue to learn from what I'm being taught, thank you, Lord, for making me the instrument to help you, to help others, to help you, to help others, to help everyone help others. And that's such a wonderful blessing, because why would I want to die and share nothing with no one? Then it's over. It's done. Like, what was my purpose? If I can't be here to change others so others can change others, then what was my purpose in life? I mean, I ain't taking nothing with me. So we all got here with nothing. We all leave with something.
For sure.
You know, so at the end of the day, when you have like brothers and sisters that bless you with knowledge and jewels, and you can share this, wow, this is the best thing in the world. Like, I'm like, half the time I sit around the restaurant, I'm like, yo, this is a podcast right now. This is a podcast. Because we're talking stories that we can share with other men and women. Because when you get to a certain point in your life, you think you don't need to learn anymore? When is school over?
You never stop learning.
But if you're not in the classroom, you're not learning. Is there mental health issues? Yes. Is there situations that we could do better? Yes. But if you don't surround yourself around people that can embrace you, that truly, like from their heart, like, bro, I don't need none, I'm good.
Have you written the book yet?
No.
What you waiting for?
Yeah, what's holding you up, man?
Now
This
that
sounds-
you just finished saying that you're gonna package what you know and set and you're gonna make money off of
I
it,
don't know how to do it.
right?
Apparently, I don't know how to do it.
Write the book.
I know how.
Half
Where do I
biography,
start?
half
Chat
information.
GPT, man. Take your prompts. I'm going to teach you how to use it. With Chat GPT and AI, you're going to be able to write your book in a matter of maybe 30 to 60 days, and it's going to be accurate, and it's going to be better than if you work with
New
an
York Times
author.
bestseller, guaranteed.
Yeah, man.
Listen, I can use the help because at the end of the day, it's like when I'm the first one that says when I don't know how to do something, I'm the first one to tell you I don't know how to do something. But when I tell you I know how to do that, I can do that.
I want to ask you this, Jimmy, and give me some insight into this. The longevity that you've had at these locations, you don't see that anymore. Spots get hot, they're popping for a year, 12 months later, the doors are closed. Why? Why is it this revolving door of nightlife in New York City where these spots can't seem to stay open? Why is that now?
It's very simple. A lot of people, they buy the equipment, they spend a lot of money on the equipment.
Aesthetics.
Whatever it is, they buy it, they got the best of everything, and then they take off.
Okay.
And in their mind, like all of us, we have where we'd like to go. There's only one thing that we forget to invest in: navigation. Says you got to go straight to get there, but you make a right, you make a left, and then you run out of gas. Then you wonder, why didn't you get over there? I got no more gas. I didn't plan the course. So a lot of opportunities for me are rising right now is because, guys, I love what you're doing. Where do you want to go? So let me help you get there. So, a lot of times we have to be able to say, how can you do this without all of this equipment and everything? It's great to say, I'm going to do a podcast, but if you don't have the right equipment and you don't have the right marketing and the right, guests and everything else, you can't get there. So why do guys start podcasts and then 6 months later,
They're done.
it's
They're out
done?
the game.
Because there's no navigation. Like, what is the plan? Where's the end goal? How am I going to get there? So if you don't start that and you don't hire someone that's even greater, or you emulate, because we have to emulate the greater
Something.
ones.
Yeah.
I emulate
There has
the
to be a
great
blueprint.
restaurateurs of
Yeah.
New York City, like Danny Myers, one of the greatest restaurateurs in the world. Where did he make his money from? It wasn't from the 2- and 3-star dining experiences. Shake Shack. He took great
A burger
food.
and a milkshake. Yeah.
He took great hospitality and service and brought it to a level above McDonald's and made it fine casual dining, and people fell in love with it. So you take these little examples and, like, wouldn't anybody want to have a Shake Shack, like a Chipotle? Like, there's no rocket science, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, how do I take this to the next level? How do I take this show right now and put it in 4, 5, or 6 languages and interpret it so now you have 6 different audiences now around the world? You put on ChatGPT, and now they're taking my voice and your voice, and we're doing it in Portugal. We're doing all around the
You're
world.
in Germany, you're in Italy, you're in Africa.
So they're like, they want to know our culture. Like,
Just by utilizing the proper technology and putting the proper staff together.
have we done it yet?
Now so what I have to say is this, right? It's like, it's deeper than that though, right? So when I think about your success and your longevity and the appeal of your food, not only your food, but the appeal of what you bring to the people, to me, it's always Jimmy. It always lands back on you. You're a special ingredient. And that can't be taught. I could have a good formula, I could have good food, I could be great in the hospitality space, but it's something magical about the way you make people feel when they walk in your place. I've seen you greet the bus driver the same way you greet the rapper, the same way you greet the boxer, the same way you greet the actor, the same way you greet the mayor, the same way you greet somebody who's in office. You have this talent of making everyone feel important, and you can't teach that. It doesn't. I could watch you do that for years, and if I don't have that grace and that quality, you can't teach that, bro. That's special. That's the magic of Jimmy. And that's what I don't think people, understand about you. And that to me is the reason that these other restaurants spin out of control fast. Because the owner's sitting behind the bar, he feels he can't be bothered. If somebody's waiting for a table for 45 minutes, he doesn't go up to them and introduce himself. Like, I've seen you go up to someone and be like, have you guys been seated yet? You're not above grabbing two menus, grabbing a guest and walking them to a table. You're not above that. After all these years, all the millions of dollars you've made, everything that you've done, bro, I still see you when you open a new spot, play every position. You play pitcher, you play catcher, you play every position on the field. And to me, that can't be taught.
But you have to try. You have to try. Because what I'm learning is the best way to teach people is hands-on. Like yesterday, most of the time, like yesterday, just for example, randomly, I'm in a place and there's only two people, and the two people, it's closing time. Two people are about to get up and leave, and I'm having a conversation amongst a couple of us, and I walk away, and I see that they're trying to open up a door, but the door is this one. So I walk over to the door to open it, and I open it and I says, "Good night, thank you so much for coming." And it wasn't my place, but it was my place because it was your place.
I understand.
So if I'm here and I'm standing next to you, I don't want to tell you what you or everybody else should have done. I'd rather stop for 1 second
And show
do
you.
it. And then everybody's like, "But why?" That's my responsibility. That's what I love to do. I love to teach in a subtle, simple format and then just try to get people to repeat it. And that's my way of learning after all of this time. Like, I'm not going to scream. I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm going to teach you to teach them, and they're going to teach others. So you evolve, you learn, you develop. And for me, it's how do I continue and why do I still continue? Because one thing that people are always going to remember is how you made them feel. So look how many years later is out of the whole summary about the first time we met, the one thing you remember is how I made you feel.
100%.
And if you can share that with others and tell them, remember one thing in life, people are going to remember how you made them feel.
Interesting.
And sometimes I feel bad because sometimes people make me feel bad and I have to suck it up and say nothing. And sometimes I feel good. And then sometimes I just have to accept what it is because having eyes and being able to see, it's true. Common sense is only common. I mean, is it common?
Not really. Common sense, not common.
Right. So, there's a lot of creative people in this world, but are they really creating?
Hey, Jimmy, I want you to tell our audience, explain to our audience what you got going on in the Bronx right now with Sobro for the people who don't know.
So Sobro.
First, the address.
Well, Sobro is a beautiful little speakeasy. I like to call it a speakeasy as a private space where you come in and it's 26 Bruckner, right across from Manhattan at the end, South Bronx, Sobro, South Bronx. Garden, that's what it feels and looks like inside. So when you develop a concept, what is the concept about? What is it that you're trying to transcend in this day and age? And I says, people want to feel warm and they want to have this sense of belonging to something different and private. And if you look for the place, you can't see it from the outside. And if you know, it's okay. I mean, it's not really for everyone because the wrong energy in the room is the wrong energy in the room. And I feel that there's so many people that are looking for a space to unwind, relax, feel comfortable, and you know, when it says it's in the Bronx, I said, no, it's not in the Bronx. It's like it's our garden and just happens to be there, but it's a special place that you come and you're never gonna know who's sitting to your left, to your right, who's coming in. Like you never know who's walking in. And it's funny because of course they're walking in. Why wouldn't they walk in? They belong here. So we create this special venue, and it's not about food. It's not about drinks. It's not about music. It's all about an experience. And at this point in my life, I feel that, you know, being in the hospitality business, food is important, cocktails is important, lighting is important, the team is important, the energy is important. And when you sum it up and you put it together, it's an experience. So what we call Sober Garden, it's a vibe. So it's a vibe. How do you explain it's a vibe? What are we selling? A vibe. What are we feeling? A vibe. What are we sharing right now?
Energy. Yeah.
You know, you can't buy, we're sharing energy and it feels good. So when people walk into a space and they're sharing good energy, it's like, yo, look how beautiful the bar is. Look how beautiful these people are. Look how tranquil it is. It's really interesting to see how everybody comes together. But it took me a long time to learn that. And I continue to learn every single day. How can we capitalize on what we're doing in our life?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we walk into a room, you know, it's the wrong energy. Like how many places, what are your favorite places that you can go to right now and said the energy is fire?
I don't even go out.
Because there's no place.
There's no place. I don't even go out like that. Yeah.
So it's not attractive. So what was Jimmy's? Jimmy's wasn't a place in the Bronx. Jimmy's was the largest Puerto Rican restaurant in the country.
Period.
That people wanted to share their moments and their experiences with their girlfriends, by themselves, with their children, food to go. And it was iconic. It was like Fidel Castro went there, Tito Puente. I would sit at the table with Tito Puente, and we would have a couple of drinks, and he'd get up and take pictures and sign with everybody, and Celia Cruz and El Gallo Tito Rojas. I mean, everybody, Tito Nieves, La India, like it was just
Fat Joe.
Fat Joe,
that's your guy, right?
Big Pun, Remy, like everybody was like, it was home.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, whether it was just them, their family, they were performing. It was an interesting time, but it was so
It was
amazing.
what it is.
It was, and now I do it at smaller scales. And I, you know, I created Sofrito. I did the Don Coqui. Don Coqui was in New Rochelle, in Astoria, in White Plains, in Dykeman, and
Queens. Yeah, I mean,
Queens. It was fine.
killed it.
Yeah, it was City Island. And then I had to walk away from that situation because people don't understand. It's like if you make a promise and you say you're going to deliver something to somebody, and then you try to dilute the
What you were gonna
formula,
deliver, right.
you walk away like, yo, guys, bro. You know, I had one of my partners. He's like, you know, all of a sudden, he's gonna tell me how to run this. I'm like, yo, my man, hey, I don't need this, bro. And now it ain't worth nothing.
I put you on and you try to tell me, yeah.
Jimmy.
it ain't worth nothing now.
Jimmy gets a lot of hate. A lot of people that you helped, a lot of people that you built up, a lot of people that you taught the game to. They try to use your own game against you, and it never works. It's like you always come back with a bigger location, with a better spot. But it's like also when you're so giving of yourself, right? And you're gracious with your time, and you are a person who likes to share energy and share information and help people, oftentimes that creates enemies. You think as a result of me being this open person, this helping person, where I've put all these people in play and help all of them get established, you think that would create this great brotherhood, but in exchange, it actually creates animosity, is what I've learned sometimes. Sometimes the more you help and the more giving you are, the more animosity you build up against people that you've helped. And it's crazy to me that these people that you've helped and other restaurants that you've been affiliated with, like when you speak to them, you know, all they got is hate for you, man. Like, how do you feel about that?
That's great. You know, it's funny because like while I'm driving here and I see this beautiful windshield in front of me and I see the rear view mirror, I really no time to look back.
At all.
So it's like, yo,
You looking
God,
this way.
I'm blessed. Thank you for the opportunity to continue to grow and bless others. And it's unfortunate that some of you take my blessings as, you know, curses, but, you know, keep watching. I got more to teach you. Like, don't hate, watch, because I'm recreating. I'm
There's
only
more to
getting
come.
better. No, I haven't even started. Like, if you thought that was a lesson, I'm going to show you how to move forward, how to be even more innovative. I don't have no hate for none of you guys, bro. It's like, at the end of the day, all I did was give you love and energy. You couldn't understand it? I'm okay with it. I'm okay with myself. I can live with myself. I can walk into rooms and people says, that's the guy. I mean, they're not going to say the guy that robbed. No, that's the guy who started the game, opened doors from it for a lot of all of you guys in the Heights, in Brooklyn, and around the country. Because at the end of the day, you know, I took restaurant in. I moved from the restaurant to the bar scene to the club and integrated them all together to a catering. So I created like where a place like you go right now is a vibe. Why? Because you go to the restaurant, you drink. Right now, I mean, the only thing that I really never got into was hookah, right? And one of the reasons why it's illegal. I mean, if you can't smoke a joint, you can't smoke a cigar, you can't smoke a cigarette, why are you still doing hookah? So if I wanted to do hookah, I'd be the king of hookah, but I can't do that because it's illegal. But for me, at the end of the day, besides the hookah places and all that stuff, I have a great product. I'm only growing, and I'm going to continue to learn and bless and be innovative.
Which brings us to the part of our show where I'd like to recognize our sponsor, Jack Turner Watches. Jack Turner Watches, world-class timepieces. And today we have a special offer for you guys. Anyone interested in purchasing a Jack Turner watch can use the code JACK20 at www.jackturnerwatches.com. I happen to be wearing a skeleton piece. This piece, exquisite, beautifully designed, masterfully crafted. Yeah. I would like to present our special guest, Jimmy Rodriguez, with a gift from our sponsor. Jimmy, this is for you. I really appreciate you and your time.
I
want you to take
so
this.
excited.
I want you to take that with you, and I want you to wear that watch in great health. I gifted you with a military piece. I mean, it's a fantastic watch. It's multi-purpose. You could wear this. You could dress it down. You could dress it up. You could swim with this watch.
Oh, swimming. That's my
Wonderful piece, man. I want you to wear this watch in good health. We really appreciate you coming through,
Yeah,
Powerful,
man. This
brother.
is one of the fly shows we ever did, and we just did John Stockman from Boyz II Men, and this is up there with that.
Yeah, man. I got immense love, and
I'm honored.
I got immense love and admiration for you, brother.
I am so honored to be here, and I'm just happy to be able to wake up one more day and give some of my jewels away to everyone else and take them as blessings. You know, for me, I'm here to bless, and I'm only asking for you guys to take these jewels and share them with everyone else.
Listen, man.
Listen, we're going to get back to you on that book deal.
Oh, I need the help.
Yeah.
I need the help. I'm the first one to tell you when I don't know something, I'm not going to go in there and say, well, no. I love to be taught and helped. You know, that's a blessing. I mean,
It is.
from this show here, greater things are about to come.
Absolutely,
Amen,
brother.
man.
Appreciate
We are
that.
blessed to have all of yous with us as well. Thank you for joining us again for another episode of the Delgados podcast. Thank you to my wonderful brother, Eric.
Peace and blessings.
Thank you to our special guest, Jimmy Rodriguez.
Man, I had a great time.
I had an amazing time. God bless you, brother.
Can't wait to do it again.
Yes, bro.
All right, brother.
My
man.
brother. Thank you so much.
Yo, that was dope.